Good morning, everybody. This is Xianliang with Morsels of a Thought number 1183. Today, today is a Friday focus, and today, instead of a person, I want to focus on a book, Grass Soup by Zhang Xianliang, translated by Martha Avery. I wanted to focus on it because I have spoken of it many times and not read it yet, but I will be reading it on a different day of the week than today. Today's Friday, and usually I read a book on Sunday, and I will also read books on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. The Rules by Ellen Fine and Sherry Schneider. Mondays, so far, I have been doing Marcus Aurelius, except I couldn't find the book last week, so this time we missed Marcus Aurelius. So I thought to put it on today for a little while, and then I lost the book again. So today we will focus on Grass Soup. It is a documentary of a man's time in a communist camp. I will read you parts of it. Translation was by Martha Avery. She's called the Chinese Kundera. She wrote a lot of things. She wrote Getting Used to Dying and Half of Man is Woman. Martha Avery has translated several of Zhang Xianliang's works into English, works in the field of electronic publishing. That's kind of cool. I'll read the first paragraph and the last paragraph of the introduction in the book. Grass Soup. Zhang Xianliang, the last name would be Zhang Chang, like people used to say Chang. It's Zhang, Z-H-A-N-G. It's pronounced C-H. Zhang Xianliang, X is pronounced like an S-H. The reason for the X and the Z and the C are that there are several different kinds of sounds, and the pinyin is used to distinguish them in Chinese. So if you don't speak Chinese, you just have to remember that X is like SH, Z is like CH, and then C is like TS. Bits. Like we use that sound, bits and pieces. Bits. That sound. That's a C. Okay, Zhang Xianliang, one of China's greatest living writers, spent 22 years in Chinese prisons and labor camps until his rehabilitation in 1979. Through most of those years, he kept a diary of his experiences. Because any detail would have meant the diary's destruction and Zhang's execution, the entries were curt and cryptic. Sometimes entire days were condensed into 2 or 3 words. Some 10 years later, after his release, Zhang went back to his diaries, filling in everything that the original left unsaid. In Grass Soup, its title taken from the prisoner's habitual evening meal, he explores the systematic degradation that his brief original entries both record and conceal. The world he shows us is one in which an ill-considered poem title can mean the firing squad, in which learning how to boil a toad or steal plant roots can mean survival, a world of grinding mistreatment and starvation in which language itself acquires a dangerous value. For to note that another prisoner had died overnight was to imply that prisoners had died before, and thus criticize the system. This is a frightening portrait of how a major civilization can bring itself to its knees by mass complicity. It would have been absurdly easy to escape from the camp, yet no prisoner ever thought to do so. Told with a deft matter-of-factness that only highlights the horror. At the same time, Zhang does not ignore the minor kindnesses and moments of human recognition that dotted his prison years, like Solzhenitsyn's One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich. This extraordinary, terrifying document describes not only how far humanity can fall, but also how the human spirit can prevail even in hell. This is written by The Independent. The Independent is a periodical, and this book is Grass Soup by the same author. He also wrote something called Getting Used to Dying and Half of Man is Woman. Earlier I said Martha Avery wrote it, but no, she translated it. Okay, so that's pretty close to the end of today. I'll show you what I can about the book. Over here is the Chinese part. If you read Chinese, you know what it is. I don't know what it is. It says something about something is virtue. Something about virtue. It does say something about virtue. I know the last word is virtue. Oh boy, here. That word is virtue, and this word means just. Just is something about virtue. So anyway, now we know. It's a good book. I'll read the first entry. I'll read the very first entry and then I'll go. 1960, 11th of July. Capital construction, semicolon. Colon. Hauled dirt clods. And then he wrote all these words before the next entry. Let me see what the entry is. I want to find the next entry. Goodness gracious. This is, I think it's the background. He's creating the setting. And then the 12th of July, Hall's dirt clods picked through greens, wrote eulogy, shine on crimson rays. Okay, so he writes a few pages for everything he writes on one day. My goodness, I wonder how long this goes. I'll find out. So we will read this sometime soon. What did I read on Sunday? I don't remember. But we shall be reading this book sometime soon. Okay, I just wanted to say that. And I hope you guys have an inspiring, entertaining, educational, and good day. Okay, old Kinder hug. Bye-bye.